The Minister of Labour and Productivity, Labour and Employment, beg your pardon, sir. Dr. Chris Ngige is in the studios with us. Welcome again to Sunrise Daily.
Thank you. Thank you.
Well, you have been here. I mean, you were here just a couple of weeks ago, and one of the issues which we talked about was this NSITF inauguration of the board, which has now become a major controversial matter. Why do you think it became such a huge controversy? What was there that has now made it degenerate into Labour taking to the streets in protest?
Well, for me, my straightforward thinking is that the NSITF, because of what had happened there before now, where employers' contributions were looted, people now thought that the NSITF is a gold mine, is an ATM. You go there, you pluck money. In fact, some believe you pluck dollars there because the former chairman of the place went to contest for a gubernatorial election, took money from there, and while others were sharing naira, she was sharing dollars. So everybody believed that the place is a cash cow. And that's it. Otherwise, how do you explain it? Between 2012 and 2015, 3 years, 62 billion was contributed there. And out of it, 48 billion, nobody could account for it. And as we speak, the audit administrative panel we put there, they couldn't access vouchers, which are the normal manual trails for financial dealings, for 25 billion. And in one of their discoveries, 5 billion cash was taken away in one day. No trail.
I mean, the import of your statement, sir, is that, because some people said the import is rather heavy. When you say that, you know, that some people were seeing it as an ATM, Labour has said they had absolutely no interest in the appointment of Mr. Kokori, other than the fact that he has been appointed, inaugurate the board. They said that all appointments were done between the office of the former SGF and the current vice president, and that's how Mr. Kokori's name was thrown up. They knew nothing about it.
Yes.
Are you saying that Labour had another interest other than that?
They've been economical with the truth. They know it. There's an act establishing the place. The law establishing NSITF. It prescribes who compose the membership of the board. 11 persons. And out of these 11 persons, Labour, as NLC, because that is what is in the original act. We have not amended the act. So inside the act now you will see NLC. They have 2 members. NECA, that's the Nigerian Employers Consultative Association, 2 members. And then government, 4 members. Because that's how we share something on a tripartite. Government is the senior partner. So government has 4 executive directors, so to say, of which one is managing. And then you then have the financial institution called CBN, Central Bank of Nigeria, and of course, Ministry of Labour as the supervising ministry. Then chairman, 4A of that act, says that the Honorable Minister of Labour and Employment will nominate a fit and proper person to Mr. President for appointment. Why did we do that? That board already has a tripartite coloration. Because in a tripartite, that is what the labor industry operates on. You have government, employers association, that's private employers association. Then you have labor, the workers. That is a tripartite. So whenever you do anything in terms of, even if it's consultation, even if it is meeting, even if it is an institution that you are creating, and you do this, you put a neutral chairman. We exhibited that for you in the tripartite committee.
So
you saw us shop for a neutral chairman. I shopped for Ms. Amapepu for 3 months, looking for her.
It was seen that what you're suggesting is that Mr. Kokori, you know, having the Labour background was not going to be neutral. The question is, how was he then recommended? How did he get to be appointed? Because Labour says, from what has happened now, from the swap that has happened, you've asked, I mean, he's now being sent to, I think he's now going to chair the Frank Imodu Institute Frank Imodu Institute and Studies. I'm trying to remember
National Institute of Labour Studies.
Exactly. I think that's
Ilori Kwara State.
It means that an appointment was made. That's what they say. The question is, how was the appointment made?
But the act is clear on how the appointment will be made. So I don't know why people are running around.
The act is clear on how the appointment
and I'm telling you,
will be made.
Pointedly,
the question is, how was the appointment made initially?
I did not recommend Mr. Kokori for appointment.
You don't think this should have been raised with the presidency and perhaps explained to Labour when they began to show an interest? They said this appointment has been done for 2 years.
The NLC president is being economical with the truth. I told you. I told them that this name people have inserted there is an invalid nomination. I've been issued. And it was on that basis that I asked Mr. Kokori to give me his CV.
What name they've inserted where?
Which they inserted in the 500 board appointments. He told you that 500 board appointments were being constituted then. But the NSITF, being a specialized agency, was removed from that pool. So also were some agencies in aviation industry, FAN, NCAA, and the rest of them all, which requires special qualifications to get there.
So if I get your allegation right, you are alleging that Labour made this appointment?
Of course. They went to influence the committee, according to them. That's what they told me. As a matter of fact, this NLC president came to my office and lied to me that the vice president asked them to bring a nomination. And I told him he cannot stand. You know what the act says? Based on that, I wrote to the vice president, pointing out that there should be no such nomination. I should nominate. Even up to 2 weeks ago, the vice president said he didn't see them. So it was just a white lie. And he told me that he went there with other social partner, Oshinowo, the DG of NECA, that they went there together and they were offered this nomination to do. First and foremost, social partners cannot go to government agencies without my authorization. I'm the chief labor officer of the Federation. But they are snooping, they go to SGF office, they go to Villa, they go and do all sorts of unorthodox things.
But there was no explanation. If your grouse with them was that they were the ones who made the appointment, which is a new one. It's the first time we're getting to hear this. If your grouse with them was
they
that they
didn't
were the
make
ones...
an appointment. An appointment is if it has passed through the hog of nomination and approval.
So if
Get that clear.
So what did they do? Did they make the recommendation?
Yes, they went there and put up a recommendation.
And eventually an appointment was made?
No.
An appointment wasn't made?
I've told you, I wrote to the vice president immediately.
Yes.
And said, look, this cannot hold. This cannot go.
That the appointment cannot hold?
No, that this nomination cannot be appointed. It's not appointable. It's not appointable.
Did you raise that grouse with Labour? Did you tell them?
But I've told you the story that he came to my office, NLC president.
Yes.
To say that the vice president asked them to give him a nomination or give his office a nomination. That's what he said. And it's a lie.
You are the chief labor officer of the country, but you didn't go for Labor Day activities. Is there a reason for that?
I was ill. I was ill for 10 days. I went for a meeting in Enugu, Southeast APC caucus. I don't know, I caught a flu. So from Sunday, when I came back, up to just last week, Tuesday, that's when I came out from my house.
Well, I'm sorry to hear that you were ill. But some people will say that they will not find it believable, considering the tips that you've been having with Labour of recent. They will say perhaps you're trying to avoid some embarrassment with Labour.
Which embarrassment? Which embarrassment? If you are doing an orthodox thing, and how can you embarrass me? You come to my wall by 4 a.m., you put petrol tanker in front of my house, and block my gate, and block the gate of my neighbor. 2 petrol tankers. As I was going out, I knocked on one of them with my walking stick. It was not giving hollow sound, which means fuel inside there. What are they proving? What point? What is picketing? Do they know the meaning of the word picketing? They should go to the dictionary and look at the word picketing and know the origin. Picketing is for factory hands. That's how it originated. People who want to demonstrate were not happy. They stand, they mass up. That's what picketing is. They mass up, and it's in a factory or public office during official hours.
The question is, I mean, you say you were not well. Were you afraid that you're going to be picketed at the
Picketed
function?
how?
Okay.
The vice president knew I wasn't feeling well. As a matter of fact, I pleaded because he has an assignment in Lagos for that same day. He wasn't going to go. In fact, he was to ask me to. I said, no, I'm not ill. I'm not feeling very fine. So he knows.
Okay.
Then my Minister of State stood in for me.
Let's quickly go to Lagos now and take some questions from my colleagues.
Well, Chief, you say that you're the Chief Labour Officer of the country, and all this is happening within your jurisdiction. How do you see the relationship between you and people who ought to be under you, I mean, as Labour, looking forward? Because this has the potential of bringing in bad blood, as we see the Labour Minister, yourself, and the NLC President, Wabba, at loggerheads, and it seems to suggest that there is no resolving these issues. How will your relationship grow from this point onwards?
Well, loggerhead is human. Even in families, you have disagreement, but at the end of the day, you resolve the disagreement. Yeah, this disagreement needs to be brought to the fore because the NSC president in Nigeria is behaving as if he's an alternate government. They do so many things that are very, very unorthodox to labor practice. They say they are picketing. Last year, they picketed 2 companies, including MTN. MTN complained to me. They ran into MTN and scattered computers and everything, went to switchyard, destroyed some portions of the switchyard. That's not picketing. It's hooliganism. They denied. But MTN produced CCTV clips. So if you don't want to build trust, and once that trust goes away, then there will be problem. So I'm trying to call them to order. They have to behave in tune with the industrial relations practices. They are not government unto themselves. They are not. They are not. If they want to be government, let them go and contest the election. You are answering president, yes, but there's a numero uno for Nigeria. There's a sovereign, President Muhammadu Buhari. He's the president of the country today. He does certain things and you are impugning it. Powers of appointment is enshrined in the 1999 Constitution, Section 171. And the other enabling laws permitting a president to appoint and remove is there. He who appoints removes. And they're querying it. And they start invading a minister's house, and they tell you it's picketing.